Chapter 7, Anne to the Rescue. In January, the Premier of Canada came to Prince Edward Island to give a speech in Charlottetown, 30 miles from Avonlea. Almost all the adults went to hear him speak. Marilla rode with Mrs. Lynde and the Barrys. Anne and Matthew stayed behind at Green Gables and had the cheerful kitchen all to themselves. A bright fire glowed in the old-fashioned stove, and blue-white frost shone on the window panes. Matthew was nodding off over his newspaper. Anne sat at the table, studying her lessons. "Matthew, did you ever study geometry when you went to school?" asked Anne. "Well, now, no, I didn't," said Matthew. "I wish you had," sighed Anne. "Then you'd understand how hard it is for me. It is casting a cloud over my whole life. I'm such a dunce at it." "Well, now, I don't know," said Matthew quietly. "I guess you're all right at anything. The teacher told me last week in Blair's store that you're the smartest student in the school." "Well, I suppose I must finish up my lessons, and then I'll run down to the cellar and get some apples. Matthew, wouldn't you like some apples?" Just as Anne came up from the cellar, the back door flew open. Diana rushed in, wide-eyed and out of breath. She was shivering from the cold, with just a thin shawl wrapped around her. "Oh, Anne, do come quick," begged Diana. "Minnie May has croup. Father and Mother are gone. There's nobody to go for the doctor. Minnie May is awful bad. Oh, Anne, I'm so scared." Matthew didn't say a word. Quickly he put on his coat and went to hitch up the buggy. He headed to town to get the doctor. Diana said, "Oh, Anne, he won't find a doctor. So many people have gone to the speech." And Diana started to sob. "Don't cry, Diana," said Anne. "I know exactly what to do for croup. You forget I took care of Mrs. Thomas and Mrs. Hayman's children. They always had the croup. I'll just have to get the medicine. You might not have any at your house." Anne went to the pantry and pulled out a small brown bottle of ipecac. Then she quickly put her coat on and said to Diana, "Let's go." Outside the snow was deep and the night air was clear and frosty. The two girls ran all the way hand in hand to the Barry house. Diana's sister, Minnie May, age 3, was really very sick. She was feverish and she could hardly breathe. Young Mary Jo, the babysitter, was helpless and didn't know what to do. Anne quickly went to work. "Minnie May has got croup all right, but I've seen it worse," she said. She told Mary Jo to put wood in the stove and had Diana boil water in the kettle. The steam would make it easier for Minnie May to breathe. Anne undressed Minnie May, tucked her into bed, and gave her a dose of medicine. Anne and Diana stayed up all night, taking care of the little girl. Anne gave her more doses of medicine. Diana kept the water boiling. Matthew had to go 3 towns away to find a doctor. Everyone, it seemed, was at the Premier's speech. It was 3 o'clock in the morning before he finally got to the Barrys with the doctor. By then, Minnie May was much better. She was asleep and her breathing was fine. When the Barrys got home, the doctor told them that Anne had saved Minnie May's life. "That little red-headed girl is as smart as they come," he said to Mrs. Barry. "I tell you, she saved that baby's life. It would have been too late by the time I got here. She has skills and sense way beyond her age. I never saw anything like her." Anne and Matthew made their way home through the frosty sunrise. Anne was very tired, but she talked the whole way. She told Matthew that she really wanted to go to school that day. She was afraid that she would get behind the others, especially Gilbert, if she didn't go, but she was just too tired. She went to bed and slept most of the day. When she got up, it was late in the afternoon. She was very hungry and went right down to the kitchen. Marilla fixed Anne some dinner. Then she told her that Mrs. Barry had come over while Anne was sleeping. "Mrs. Barry says you saved Minnie May's life. She is very sorry she was so mean to you. She wants you to forgive her and be good friends with Diana again. You can go visit them right now if you like." Anne ran right over and had a grand visit with the Barrys. She and Diana had tea. They even made taffy. Mrs. Barry was very sorry, and she was extra nice to Anne. Best of all, Anne had her best friend back.